in Blaine, Minnesota 18 years ago. Now he's 39. I asked him before the game if he's thinking about retiring or do you want to play more, and he said more. He's in no rush to give it up, and clearly the assist on the opening point in the gold medal match gives him reason to stay. Ashlyn Joy to Cassidy Rasmussen. Jimmy Mickles takes off. Rasmussen, a majestic shot. Just shy of the end zone, Mickle. Looking for Kittredge, there was a collision. Schlockett was closed off, and it opens up again. Mickle found him. The women falling in the semifinals to Colombia. The men getting past Australia. They trailed 6-4 in the first half of that game, down a couple of breaks, but rallied back to take half 8-6 on their route to a comfortable victory, 15-9.
The set plays have been pretty devastating here for the Americans, and none other than Ashlyn Joy will take the disc in the middle of the field at the brick mark, and from here the Japanese defense is already setting up to hide and shade the deep.
Joy marked by Koike. It's Kittredge. There was a question of whether Bo Kittredge would be playing in this World Ultimate Gut Championships after he hurt his knee a little over a month ago. Kittredge is out there, but not. Well, the good news, the sun has returned. I was chatting with Yoshinori Nasan, one of the two coaches of the Japanese team, along with Yohei Abe before the game. He said they were hoping it would be nice, hoping for sun and not rain. Joy to Rasmussen. Kittredge, last in the stack. He'll come underneath. Mickle. Four of the greats in the world. Joy to Rasmussen, and then Kittredge and Mickle. Here's Helton. Yuta Inomata, 23-year-old on the mark. A lot of youth on this Japanese team, in addition to the veterans like Matsuno, Takahashi, Kichikawa, of course. Rasmussen missed some time earlier in the week with a hip injury, but he certainly looks quick at the moment. Joy to the end zone. Cassidy Rasmussen has the score for the United States to eat. USA on offense. Karlinski centers for Joy. Marquette on the field. I asked Josh Marquette what he thought about playing Japan, and he kind of shook his head. He said, they're so hard to guard. If we turn it over, it's so hard to defend against what they do. Back to Marquette. Underneath, Schlockett had to attack it. And then bursting up the line to Kittredge. And it looked like Takahashi a little shaken up.
Possibly bumping knees with Kittredge.
Look at the size disparity there. You said 6 inches. At least in this situation, it's a good deal more than that. Hammer for Mickle.
Japan really bogging down the middle of the field, doing a good job of not letting Team USA continue and move the disc in only a couple of throws.
Well, this has been the longest point so far. Mickle slicing across the field. What a shot. About a 10-yard gain. There's Ryan Farrell, a defensive guy who has stopped a lot of great players in his day, wondering how the USA can try to slow down Masahiro Matsuno, who has seemingly gotten open at will.
Farrell has a lot of experience in that, going back to the World Games where he had to defend Matsuno. Here, and we start to see the Japanese zone in adjustment. A lot of players playing in space. They do a great job of communicating and switching of the mark, and sometimes not even worried about the mark. Here, Karlinski, in the middle of the field. They just want to make sure all the options downfield are covered. And we saw even a little bit trickery against Team Canada in the top of the power pool game, where all of a sudden they pulled it and didn't even bother to rush down on the pole, just gave half field to Canada and pretty much let them score.
Karlinski thought about going over the top. Furuzawa is the deep for Japan. Way downfield to the left of our shot. Kittredge has come back into the handler core for the moment. USA deliberately taking time, working downfield.
Looks like a double team may have been called, and Karlinski pointing it out.
Well, this look is a little different from some of the other zones that Japan has run.
I think the zone can flex a lot due to the formation of whatever the offense tries to do, because they're worried about always finding a new man to cover. Now it looks like they've transitioned.
Looked like a foul.
It's a smart idea here by the Japanese. You don't want to give up a huck, and you want to make it difficult, or at least make the U.S. play in a different fashion. Make them think about what they're doing, and that's what happens when you play zone defense, to give up a lot of little short throws.
Karlinski up the line and finding Schlockett for the score. Persist. That led to a Kolek assist to Tom Doy. USA has been perfect on offense. A couple hucks early, and ever since then, it has been the slow, methodical passing of the offense rather than the athleticism of, say, a Bo Kittredge.
Japanese have just gunked up the lanes, put a lot of defenders into space.
The disc landed, but there was a stoppage before the disc hit turf.
Kittredge pretty casual with that. I think with all the rules and continuations, he's got a good handle on the rule book, because I would be afraid to let that one hit the ground.
Not his first time in a world championship competition. Mikkel rifles one. Rasmussen contested, and it falls to the ground. It was Keiichiro Shiba who either got the D or committed the foul.
I'm not sure he got the block. We'll take a look. This one hanging a little bit too much. And it looked like Cassidy did have that for a brief moment. We'll see if we can listen in.
I pointed that disc and then got sort of bumped into both with the body and on the wrist. It's a heck of an effort from both players, Shiba and Rasmussen. As the rain has started to fall again, it's a bit of a sun shower. You can see the brightness of the field along with the raindrops trickling down. So still no official turnovers for the United States. Mikkel drying off the disc on his jersey before he released. Swung to Helton. Joy breaks free underneath, shaking away from Koike. Kittredge made a move deep. They didn't throw it there, though. Now Rasmussen looks for Schlockett. Joel Schlockett back of the end zone, read it perfectly. Well, for a moment it looked like he wasn't attacking quickly enough. But it falls right into the Saturday, and For the men, a flawless offensive performance. And they will receive to begin the second half. Up a couple of breaks. 7 scores away from an immortal performance. Evan Lepler, Brian Jones with you here in London as Ashland Joy looks at a Japanese zone.
And here they have 4 defenders around the disc, just clogging up the middle of the field, really concerned about not letting anything through. And it's just fun to watch how they change their formation. As the count gets higher, they can tighten up. They won't bother guarding the resets or even guarding the thrower until later on.
Cassidy Rasmussen is about 20 yards beyond the deep defender. Now he's gotten closer to Masahiro Matsuno, who's serving as the deep for Japan. Marquette bluffs a Scuba and uses the forehand to find Kittredge. Joy, Karlinski, Joy, Kittredge, Marquette. While a lot of zone defenses, Brian, would have switched into a matchup D by this point of the field, Japan typically stays in it almost the entire way to the end zone.
I think if you want to transition, you have to do it early.
Kittredge, high throw, but Helton skies and pulls it down.
I don't know which one was better, the Freechild or the Gibson, but got to give the edge to Freechild going in the air.
It was the first turnover of the game, too. That was the sloppiest point of the first 16. 4 turnovers. There were only 2 in the first 15. USA offense back out there. Joy, the pivot man. He's got Marquette wide open, but he insisted on breaking the mark and used his patented shimmy to break free. We talked with Ashland Joy the other day a little bit about his pivoting theory, because a lot of the great throwers don't pivot as much as you would think they would to get that throw off. It's more of an upper body waist movement. Well, there you see the pivoting from Karlinski. Karlinski airs it out. He's got Schlockett and Kittredge. And Kittredge tried to take everyone out while Schlockett avoided the contact, comes up with a disc.
Underneath, not clearing out. The zone and the Pochi defense here from Japan has done exactly what intended. To get the U.S. out of rhythm, make them take shots out of sync in high stall situations.
And Japan is not even running down on this pull. They're letting the United States work it up. This is such a bizarre strategy. But now they begin to attack, although there's no mark. Here's Kittredge. Finally, Takahashi sets a decent mark. Joy up the line, chased by Kikuchi. Does this Japanese strategy parallel anything you've ever seen?
I've never seen anything like this, other than in joke games when you're trying to run snake in the grass and iron curtain defenses. That's usually accompanied by holding a beer.
Well, there's certainly no laziness in the Japanese strategy. There's some level of tactic to it. Crossfield, upside down to Joy.
A lot of switching downfield still, trying to cover all the angles. Not playing a tight man-to-man defense.
A bullet to Mickle, to Schlockett. How does he do it? He's always... Helton, Schlockett, Rasmussen, Karlinski, Mickle, Kittredge, and Joy. Japan has played well enough to keep it close, but they're still down 2 breaks and would need to break the U.S. 3 times to win.
Cutters are very deep out of the picture here for the U.S. and relying on their throwers. It's a little wet on the field. Wouldn't be surprised to see the disc slip out. So far, they've been very patient with it.
Helton taking off. Kittredge, too. Joy's shot was shallow, and Kittredge makes the catch. Bo Kittredge, the week he turned 34, still shows he's got some game. Some of the more recent scores from the O-line have been contested and have required Joel Schlackett to play out of his mind. Bo Kittredge made the great skying grab.
Side stack isolating Cassidy Rasmussen.
Kittredge on the under. Oh, and Cassidy could not haul it in. The effective poach from Takahashi. Oh, Koike keeps it alive and then gives it away. The emotional pendulum swinging back and forth here in London.
Thought we might have seen our first break of a U.S. squad today.
Rasmussen, clap catch for Kittredge. Yes. A delayed reaction. Japan's defensive line that needs to break. Otherwise, the USA reign will be official.
Side stack looking to isolate Mickle. And the Japanese putting a lot of players into the lane early on.
Helton launches. It gets to Mickle. Rasmussen is there, and it is over. USA has swept the field at WUGC. The USA Ultimate flag needs a new color. Red